So I'm not a terrorist, first of all, and actually it's not really military intelligence, because military needs actual data and current information, and I'm not able to really get that information, but I did try my best. Yeah, some few points about me. My name is Andreas Krenmeier. I'm working as a software developer in the mobile application area, and in my free time I played with geographical information systems like NASA Worldwind or Google Earth. Those are the main tools that I used, and I searched around a little bit and found some interesting stuff, and I would like to present that today. Yeah. What the agenda is, what tools are available, what kind of information is available, and how can we get that together? And I will show some real-life examples. The slides are very light on actual text, and you will see a lot of pictures. I've got something like 40 slides. And I will also do some live demonstration and try to do some experiment, but more on that later. Yeah, the motivation for this lecture is the US government and, some other countries' governments too. They are so absolutely crazy about, having that national security related material published, You will see that later anyway, but there is lots of interesting material on the net that they don't really want to have there, and it's only waiting to be collected and just put together. And one thing that, is quite strange, the United States forbid pilots to fly over nuclear power plants, and the exact locations are absolutely secret. Well, that's what they say at least. So, yeah. It's some kind of, regime criticism. I published some bits of information about that power plant stuff on my weblog. It was inspired by this entry by Bruce Schneier, who reported about that issue with the power plants, and that was, the kind of ignition for my research. Wasn't that formal. Yeah, and I will never ever travel into the United States. I don't know what they would want to do about me. I don't want to be in Guantanamo or something like that. Although Cuba could be nice, but not Guantanamo. Yeah, regarding regime criticism, that's only a side note. When you are in the United States, you don't even have the right to talk to your country's ambassador. That's really uncool. Yeah, the available tools that I used: Google. Google is very useful for searching for information. You all know Google, so I don't really have to tell you about that. Then NASA Worldwind. That tool exists for, a bit longer than Google Maps and Google Earth. And they really have an excellent front end, and I really liked playing with it. And, later on Google started Google Maps, and it instantly became very popular because it was, integrated into the Google platform. So everybody could search for really great satellite material. And then they also started Google Earth, this kind of rich client similar to NASA Worldwind. And it also uses the Google Maps material. And some other free map services on the net. I didn't really use that too much. Yeah, that's what Worldwind looks like. It's real simple. You see the Earth, you can zoom in, zoom out, get some additional information, switch the satellite material and so on. I will do some live presentation later on. Yeah, Google Earth is, well, looks similar. Does some other, well, more customer-friendly stuff like showing you places where you can dine or roads, borders, stuff like that. Yeah, what I also found is a list of nuclear power plants in the United States, including their rough location. That is especially interesting because the United States or the United States government doesn't want to have that information on the net. It doesn't even want pilots to know that information. Yeah. Okay, some real-life examples I will show is, well, some stuff in Washington, D.C., Andrews Air Force Base, then the Oyster Creek nuclear power plant. That was the very first thing that I was really doing a lot of search. And, well, New York, oh, I kicked out the New York stuff because it isn't really that interesting. Edwards Air Force Base and some other, well, more stuff, well, even outside the United States. Okay, yeah. First, a really nice picture of Washington, D.C. Through Whirlwind and Google Earth, I really found out how, well, nicely structured Washington, D.C. actually is. Because here you have the Capitol, and then it's this, what is it called, National Mall, and then this, yeah, whatever building. Then this, yeah, sorry, I don't know the English word, but I also know that they have some similar stuff in Buenos Aires. Yeah, sorry. I'm not a native German, not a native English speaker, so sometimes I'm lacking the words. I don't even know the German word. Sorry. And here's the White House. So everything's very nice together. And down there, here's the Pentagon. So you have all the important stuff very close together. Yeah, the Capitol. You see this, well, pixels around it. That's the NASA Whirlwind material. I recently saw that Google Earth even has material that has a lot better quality, so it's not censored anymore. But nevertheless, they seem to be crazy about it. Yeah, that's really the classic example for censorship, not showing the top of those buildings and even the pixeling inside. Yeah, for whatever reasons. That's the Pentagon. Well, very nice building too. Yeah, on a side note, what I found out, the Pentagon is not in Washington, D.C., it's in Virginia, because there's this river, and that's the border between Washington, D.C. and Virginia. It's really interesting. The Pentagon was already a target for terrorists, and that they don't pixel it out. Isn't it that important after all? It's all very strange, and it doesn't really a coherent policy of censorship. Yeah, that's another, well, quite interesting stuff that the Andrews Air Force Base is, well, the home of the Air Force One, this special 747 for the President of the United States. And it's really a good example for, well, getting clear pictures of Air Force bases and what they have stationed there. So you get, well, some rough information what you could attack there, what you could get there. just in theory. That's located around here. See that? You have this Hercules machine, some helicopter, this FA-18 jets, and then this bunch of F-16s. That's the quality you get. That's, well, pretty good. And that's not even a real military satellite. Yeah, same for the FA-18s. That's an image problem from NASA Whirlwind. Not really my fault. Yeah. That's even some more interesting stuff. That's the Oyster Creek nuclear power plant. As I told you before, they don't really want to know you where they exactly are. Here you see latitude, longitude, exact information. Actually, that wasn't too easy to find, but as I told you before, I got this list of nuclear power plants. They really have this complete list where all they are within the United States. And when you search for Oyster Creek, it's in New Jersey, you get some really interesting information. It's the oldest still working nuclear power plant in the United States. And they seem to have some really, well, bad technical issues, like, well, having the reactors leak sometimes, and they even had some accidents some years before. And yeah, some other interesting stuff. Certain kinds of fish are attracted by the warm water of this nuclear power plant. So this area is really well known for, well, people doing fishing, because you find some certain kinds of fish that you usually don't find in the area of New Jersey. They are really attracted by it, so yeah. There's this nice anecdote. In Austria, they tried to build a nuclear power plant at the river Danube. They tried at least, but well, they wanted to use the water from the river Danube for cooling the whole thing, and they did some research and found out that the water would be heated up by a few degrees, and the next, I don't know, 20 or 30 kilometers of river Danube would be warm enough that alligators and stuff would be able to live within river Danube. But I digress. Yeah, the nuclear power plant is also easily spotted on topographical maps where it is marked simply as power plant. Yeah, and that's how I actually found it. It's not really, I can switch back. It's not really easy to see it as a really power plant, because you always expect those huge towers, cooling towers. You don't really have that here. Yeah, as I told you before, Bruce Schneier published that on his weblog. That is cut off, unfortunately, but I will put the slides online anyway, and there you can simply click on it and get the whole thing. Yeah, some other Air Force base is the Edwards Air Force Base. It's, well, relatively well known. It's in California, and it's about 100 kilometers of LA. And it was really easy to find. I read about it. It only said 100 kilometers north of LA, so I searched for LA, and, well, went up some bit, and it was easy to see the airstrip. Yeah. Wikipedia has some really interesting information about it, and they have really cool aircraft there.